You find me on the Costa del Sol for FM24. We have been appointed as manager of Malaga. Malaga Club de Football, higher Treq. I am Argentinian this time. We have got a philosophy. We are sticking to it. More about that in a minute. Malaga were in their 75th season under the new manager, Jose Treq. Remember, Malaga are now in the third tier. Couple of relegations over the past few years has seen us drop into the third tier for the first time, I think, this century. Now, before we dive into it, Malaga have a beautiful array of football kits this season. A little competition for you. Mine are on the way, but a little chance for you to win one of these three kits. So we've got the home kit, the away kit, and the third kit. All I want you to do down in the comments is let me know which of those three is the best, and I will pick a random winner out of all the comments. The winner will get a shirt. So there you go, little competition time. Helps the YouTube. Smash a like on today's video, and let's go and see what I am dealing with on day one. Okay, so here we go. Day one, reputation 3. I think we're at national reputation. Media prediction first. Director of football, we've got a very good backroom staff, which I will show you briefly. Founded in 1948, no major trophies. They've won a couple of the second tier, which is now called the Liga Hypermotion, with the La Liga's sponsorship with EA. Couple of smaller trophies, but no Copa del Rey, no La Liga title. So we're going to change that. Another good reason is the stadium, the La Rosaleda, 30,000 capacity. It's been upgraded a couple of times, and with the third tier as well. Great training facilities, great youth facilities, and good youth recruitment. No money. I will leave a little link here somewhere to explain the backstory, a little video I did a couple of weeks ago. If you're unfamiliar with the story of Malaga, go check out that video, and then you'll have an understand of why Malaga are now in the third tier. But basically, we're skin. So the club vision for the season, it's get out of the division. It's as simple as that. They want us out of it straight away. Interesting to see, I've got a set philosophy, a set tactic. Remember the rules of the save are as follows. Number one, we have to stick to the 4-2-3-1. In previous saves, we've dived around with tactics and stuff, and I've gone from long balls to 3-5-2s, to 3-4-3s, to 4-4-2s. So for this year, we're sticking with the 4-2-3-1 with the playing philosophy of dominating, controlling games with the ball, so high possession numbers, patiently waiting, not looking long. We're going to keep the ball and basically run our teams into the ground by keeping control of the football. We are going to do that very much like Big Ange. We're going to do it regardless of how many players we've got on the pitch. I've just watched the Spurs-Chelsea game, by the way, so that's stuck in my head. And also who we're playing. Even when we get to Barcelona, when we get in that top division, we're still going to play it our same way. Number 2 is we must play a Trequartista every single week. I am a Trequinho, Trequartista, FM24. The channel's had loads of names. I must start with one of them in every single game that we play. Now, I'm starting with him as number 10, but that because of the 4-2-3-1, we've got a couple of options. It's striker, one of the wide positions as well. Rule number 3, we cannot use the player search for, I basically call it Wonder Kid Pervin, when you go through all the age groups in Brazil and South America looking to find those players. Now, the only time I can go onto the player search screen will be to look at transfer listed players and free transfers. That is it. So a big emphasis on recruitment focuses, finding players to fit our style. That should be easier because we are playing a set way every single season. So it's hopefully over long term, we should see some really good progress in terms of signings coming into the club. That is how we're going to set up. Now, obviously, first season, we must stick to the finances. Finances are going to be difficult, but we have got a little carrot in the save, which we're going to hope might just transform our season for the first couple of seasons. Gain automatic promotion, which is going to be really difficult just because there's only one automatic place. Work towards developing the best youth system in the country. That is a 5-year plan, but we need to show some potential with that from day one, and we've got the coaches, I think, to do it. And my philosophy of a player pathway, which is something we'll definitely cover in a future video. Now, we are hot favourites for the division. If we look at the season preview, we are 10-1 on to win the league. So hopefully this gives me the opportunity to really embed my tactical philosophy on this team, because we should hopefully have the players to do it. Now, interestingly, we have got a couple of players, key players, in and around the Media Dream 11. One is a keeper, which is Herrera. He will be our number one goalkeeper this season. The second one is Sagnelli. Now, I knew about him because of his time at Real Sociedad. I tried to sign him in a previous save with Bilbao. However, he does not fit our style of play at all. So that is a massive worry. What we're going to do with him, I do not know. He might just have to become a little bit of a bit part. There is 2 holding midfield positions that he potentially could do. He's maybe just not familiar with it yet, so we will work with him because he's got a 2-year deal. We'll work with him this season. If not, potential profit there to be made. Now, remember, we need a Trequartista, and I think during the save, I do want to get that 35-year-old Neymar or something in like that, just to sell shirts and have that name in the side throughout the save. And at the moment, we're having to go with Dioni, who is a 33-year-old experienced striker, been around a lot. He comes deep to get the ball. He moves into channels. He's got vision. He's a decent size. He's a kind of an average Joe. He's got good attributes all the way across, and he's just going to suit us in terms of, I didn't want to play him as a central striker or a winger on this right-hand side because he just hasn't got the pace you would imagine. 13's not bad, but we have got players better suited for that. So there you go. Dioni for now is going to be the Trequartista. And one of our other standout players is the centre forward. He's going to be a poacher. Only 21 years old is Roberto Fernandez. Poacher, 14 dribbling, 13 finishing, 14 pace, 6'1" as well, so a decent height. Heading is 12, jumping reach of 13, so we might be able to score a few goals with his head. Now, we've got quite a solid, good side. I'm quite happy. And it does kind of fit. We're a little bit struggling. If I show you the tactic, here it is. It is the Malaga one, version 1. It kind of suits. Now, we have got a roaming playmaker, an advanced playmaker on the left, and a Trequartista in the middle. So 3 ball-playing, playmaking positions. So we are on about expressing ourselves. What I'm going to do is as well, for the Patreons, there will be a more of an in-depth look into the tactic, plus the opening game of our pre-season. That will be a video available for you in the morning. If you are interested in supporting the channel and getting bonus little episodes every now and again, check out the Patreon, links down in the description. But basically with the tactic, all we want to do is look after the ball. We're going to try and basically build up with a back 3, with the inverted fullback. Currently, we've got a defender who's more of a central defender that can play there, so we're kind of well suited. We've also got a very aggressive left wing back, Danny Sanchez, who is 12 crossing, 14 pace, more about going forward. Look, he's natural at wing back, left winger, and sort of like attacking left winger. So very well suited. So the idea is, with this, that in possession, we morph like this. So the advanced playmaker, because he's got a sit narrow on, what we're trying to create is this. A bit of a 3-2-5 in terms of 2 sitters. Now, the roaming playmaker is going to go beyond at some points, but I want him supporting the play, recycling possession. We've got an anchor man in there. I'm going to make sure that that is a really solid, tough number 6, just physically a beast. That's what we're going to be looking at in terms of player recruitment for that pace, for that position. On the right hand side, we've got our width, we've got our depth. Was a little bit worried that with obviously the complete wing back will get forward, but I wanted someone who was really going to stretch the play a little bit, especially in and around the roaming playmaker, the Trequartista, the advanced playmaker. So we've got a winger on attack who's going to be really aggressive, and then look at the possession instructions, much shorter passing, play out of defence. We've got an overlap on the left and fairly narrow. The idea is that our possession numbers, I want 60% plus. We're going to dominate the ball. We're going to block teams out. We're not going to be winning games 5-4 and 3-2. I imagine the plan is to really look after the ball and win games 2-3-0, clean sheets, dominate the ball, and be in control of games as much as possible. The backroom staff are pretty impressive. Now, I have brought someone on the journey with me. In the coaching team, as you can see, there is an Englishman. He's called Nathan Kirby. Basically, real life terms, he is from our town where we and the missus live, in Malton, in North Yorkshire. He used to go to school with the missus, and I've been friends with him over the last over the last 12 months, basically, and he loves FM. He's currently actually head of performance analyst in Belgium with Standard Liège. He's been at Besiktas during the times of Dele Alli, and I just said to him, do you want to come Costa del Sol? And he said, yeah. So that's the only tweak I've made to the editor. He is in, and he's going to be head of performance analyst. Very important as we try and look at teams in particular with our set style. We can tweak our tactic in terms of player roles and team instructions, player instructions, and he will be key in terms of monitoring how our players are doing and also maybe a little bit of opposition work as well. Some of these are actually quite good, but do need a little bit of work. There's a couple of expiring at the end of the season. I will phase these out and I will try and get in 3 much better coaches to try and push our training, because training is going to be key. We'll do a whole video on that as well. Training is going to be so key in terms of how we build our style of football and really trying to be as realistic as we can in terms of how we train towards our set philosophy and our set tactic. Scouting network is massive. We're going to do a whole new video on that, but the scouts are very impressive. The recruitment team is really good. Look, a lot of 15s, early teens. Bearing in mind we're the 3rd tier of Spanish football, we've managed to hold on. We've also got 2 spaces already for scouts, so we're going to back up that. Basically, because we're relying on recruitment focuses, we really need to make sure this is set up. At the moment, we're looking at Spain as our scouting range, but I want that next season we get promoted to be Western Europe. So a lot of money is going to be moved across into the scouting budget to make sure we can scout the best players possible. All right, that is the scouting. Finances, everything will depend on the finances. The finances are not great. We have got a debt of 1.9 million. We're basically playing just over or just short of £1 million for the first 2 seasons. So 2 million in the debt, 1.9, look, finishes in 2 years. So we're paying £1 million a season, which is a lot of money. We will sell lots of tickets. I don't know how many fans will actually get through the door. Malaga is obviously a national reputation club, 30,000, but if we can get, fill half of that in the 3rd tier, we might be okay. So we need to start well to make sure we don't lose them fans that are already disgruntled at what's happened to their football club since the glory days of the Champions League quarter-final, the Champions League, finishing 4th in the league, Cazorla, Isco, Baptista, Pellegrini as manager. Oh, that's a long, long time ago. It's been a struggle for the club. It's not been great since the La Liga relegation, since the Champions League. Look, 4th, 6th, 11th, 9th, 8th, 11th, hung on, then 20th, then got knocked out in the playoffs, nearly returned to La Liga in 2019, 14th, 12th, 18th, 20th, and now we start again in the 3rd tier. So they've not been in the 3rd tier since 1998. So what, 25 years? 25 years. Now the carrot, the nugget that I found after I'd loaded up the save is in here. The clauses. Ricardo Horta, which a lot of you will be familiar with because he is currently at Braga. He plays for the Portuguese national team. He has, bizarrely, played for Malaga. We signed him from one of my Portuguese teams, Vitória Setúbal, 400k, with him then leaving on a free to Braga, and he's been there ever since. But one bit of good business the current board did do, the old board, is 15% of the next transfer fee will be owed to Malaga. He's rated between 23 and 35 million. So if he gets to 30 million, say, we'll get 4.5 million, which in the grand scheme of things will not be enough to take us past Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, but it will significantly help us probably balance the books and get us into La Liga. I think that money, if that's pushed into the club, will probably propel us at some point, hopefully in the next 3 seasons, 4 at the max. We need to be back in La Liga. That will probably stretch as far as the next 4 seasons at the maximum in terms of balancing books. So we need him potentially to be sold on. We've also got another little one here as well. KD Bar, if Espanyol get an immediate return back to La Liga, we get 850 grand from him. You would expect Espanyol to be one of the favourites in La Liga 2 this season. That is it. So Patreons, your video will be out in the morning. Everybody else, do not worry. Thursday night, there will be episode 2 where we will play our opening game of the season. Our opening game of the season as well is Atletico Club Madrid's B team, which will be a little bit of an issue. There is B teams in our division. We've got Madrid B, and we've also got, where is the other one? Castilla, which is Real Madrid B. So that is how we're set up. It's a 1-team automatic and then a 4-team playoff. There's 2 divisions at our level, and then we're in the 3rd tier. So then we play in semi-finals and finals, win our playoffs, we get promoted with the champions. If we don't get promoted, I imagine we'd probably get sacked unless we have an incredible season as finishing second and then we get a little bit of misfortune in the playoffs. So that is how we are lined up, and we are starting with Atletico de Madrid B. on Thursday. There's also a live stream on Saturday night. This is part of the live stream save, 9:30, right here on YouTube. Saturday night, live streaming the Malaga save. All right, don't forget that competition with the shirts, and we will see you on Thursday night. Treq Inspired Malaga. Now you understand why it's called Treq Inspired Malaga, because Trequartista, can we get it working in the third tier of Spanish football? All right, I'm Treq. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on Thursday. See you later.